Imagine a high-stakes cooking competition. One chef decides to go all out, juggling flaming pans, spinning plates, and attempting a towering, highly complex soufflé. But halfway through, the timing falls apart. The pans drop, and the soufflé collapses into a messy puddle. Now look at the chef at the next station. No juggling, no fire. They just prepare a classic roast chicken. The skin is perfectly crisp, the meat is juicy, and it's plated beautifully without a single drop of sauce out of place. If you were the judge, who would you score higher? The one who attempted a circus act and failed, or one who delivered a flawless meal? Writing an essay for the IELTS exam works exactly the same way. Every year, thousands of test takers try to perform a literary circus act, stuffing their essays with massive words and tangled sentences, only to watch their scores collapse. To reach the top tiers of the IELTS 9-band scale, you don't need to write like a genius from another century. The examiners are grading you on a rubric built on 4 specific areas. Hitting a band 8 or 9 is a measure of clear, effortless communication. It is about proving you can execute the basics perfectly, rather than showing off tricks. The first pillar is called task response. Think of this as the customer's specific meal order. If a diner asks for a medium-rare steak, they expect exactly that. For a top score, you have to answer the exact question the prompt asks. You need a clear position, and every idea you bring up has to directly support that position with relevant details. A common trap is writing a beautifully worded essay that answers a slightly different question. You can write the best essay in the world, but if the prompt asked for a burger and you served a perfectly baked pizza, you fail the pillar. The second pillar is coherence and cohesion. If the first pillar is what you serve, this is how you serve it. You wouldn't hand a diner their dessert before the appetizer. To score high here, your affirmation needs to flow in a logical sequence. One idea should connect smoothly to the next, guiding the reader from your introduction straight through to your conclusion, so they can follow your message without thinking about it. If your essay jumps rapidly between disconnected points, repeats the same thought 3 times, or shoves everything into one massive, unbroken block of text, the reader gets lost. Even the most brilliant ideas lose their impact if the reader has to struggle to navigate your structure. A chaotic presentation ruins the entire meal. Next is lexical resource. This is your vocabulary. These are the raw ingredients you choose to build your dish. A top-tier vocabulary score means you use a wide range of words naturally, precisely, and exactly where they belong in the context of your sentence. Many writers try to force heavily memorized phrases or obscure giant words into sentences where they don't quite fit. It is like dumping a massive scoop of salt into a cake batter just because salt is a professional ingredient. When you use a word incorrectly or make noticeable spelling errors, the examiner has to stop reading and actively decipher what you meant. That friction instantly pulls your score down. The fourth and final pillar is grammatical range and accuracy. This represents your fundamental technique in the kitchen, your knife skills, and your tool control. A high band score requires a flexible mix. You need to confidently balance short, simple sentences alongside longer, complex ones, and you need to produce them with almost 0 errors. The mistake here is trying to stretch every single thought into a massive multi-clause paragraph. Those incredibly long sentences tend to buckle under their own weight, lose their intended meaning, and completely confuse the reader. Instead, master clean, accurate, simple sentences first. Once those are flawless, you can carefully introduce complexity where it actually serves your point. Choosing the precise word and building a structurally sound sentence always earns a higher score than cramming in flashy vocabulary that breaks the sentence apart. When we step back and look at the IELTS grading rubric, those 4 pillars, task response, cohesion, lexical resource, and grammar, all point toward the exact same goal. All that academic terminology simply translates to this: can the examiner read and understand your message without any friction? It is a test of effortless communication. You achieve this by directly answering the specific question you are asked. You guide your readers smoothly from one distinct paragraph to the next. You choose your words to express a precise meaning rather than to show off. And you maintain clean, accurate grammar so your reader never has to pause to figure out what you are trying to say. On test day, you can let go of the pressure to juggle complicated, flashy tricks just to look smart. You don't need them. Treat the examiner like a valued guest sitting at your table. Don't try to juggle fire. Just serve them a clear, perfectly executed meal.